Creating a media plan is an effective way to manage media use in your early childhood environment. A media plan helps you think about your goals, your values, your priorities, and your rules around technology. Caregivers have different approaches, rules, and habits for media use. Your media plan will be unique to your own goals and needs. And this plan can be regularly updated when things change for special times like seasonal breaks or special projects. Make sure you have your copy of the Creating Your Caregiver Media Plan PDF to follow along. Setting up a media plan. A media plan is a helpful way to involve all caregivers in setting media rules and goals. It also provides a structured way to practice discussing media use with children before media use happens. We'll guide you through step-by-step through creating your media plan. First, consider the people in your care. The media plan should include guidelines for all caregivers and students. You can go through the steps for different classrooms or age groups to create a plan that covers all of the children at your establishment and areas of media use. Next, think about what matters most to you in regards to screen time when children are with you. Do you want to focus on your own screen time? Do you have goals for children's screen use? Start by choosing the 2 priorities that matter the most to you. You can always revisit the media plan and add more later. We'll give you a few examples of some priorities you could focus on in your classroom media plan. Finding the right balance for screen time. Reflect upon the amount of screen time that children in your care experience. Are they using screens for learning or entertainment? Is it regular, scheduled, for special occasions, or never? Everyone's situation will be different. We'd like to reiterate that excessive media use isn't beneficial for kids. When planning a child's day, we want to make sure that children have enough time for the things that we know are beneficial, like face-to-face interactions, indoor and outdoor play, meal and snack times, and rest. Basically, the goal is to fill their day with more play than media. Additionally, for caregivers, balancing screen time with off-screen activities can include minimizing your personal screen use and focusing on being present with the children in your care. Setting media time limits. Another focus area could be setting media time limits and ensuring that devices are turned off when they're not in use. It's essential to maintain a balance between screen time and real life. Use your device's built-in screen time limits to help you stick to your goals. This includes turning off the TV or other devices when they're not actively being used. Background TV is a major source of media exposure for children, often with content that's not suitable for them. When the TV is on, kids play less and caregivers interact less with them. Opportunities for uninterrupted playtime and caregiver-child interactions are really important. If you have a TV, turning it off when no one is actively watching it is an easy tip that will have a significant impact on you and the children in your care. It's the caregiver's role to create, hold, and explain rules surrounding media, but this doesn't mean that children will always be happy about it. We can offer tips to reduce screen time struggles, but ending screen time can just be hard for little ones. Just like how leaving the playground is hard for kids, transitioning away from screen time can be challenging. It might be tempting to allow kids to have more screen time when they're upset, but we'll provide some helpful ideas and scripts for sticking to your rules in our Holding Tech Boundaries PDF. One idea is to have off-ramp activities or special playtime that helps children transition from media to real-life experiences. Talking about media with children and their families. If you choose to focus on discussing media use with children in your care and the adults in their lives, start by letting go of any discomfort around media use. When parents and caregivers feel guilty about screen time, they often don't want to discuss it. However, having regular conversations about screen time is beneficial for children and their families. Confidently using screens with purpose can make media conversations easier and more valuable. It's crucial that children and families feel comfortable discussing media with you so that they can discuss screen time with you. Families and parents especially may want to talk to you about these topics since they value you and your expertise in caregiving. When you're using your own devices, you can tell children what you're up to. Maybe you're logging daily activities, chatting with parents, looking something up, etc. It's important that you explain this to children to let them know how you're using your devices, that you're using them with purpose as tools and for learning. You can also discuss how media makes children feel. How does their body feel after watching a video or playing a game? What emotions do they experience when screen time starts and when it ends? These conversations can help children build media awareness and some self-awareness about how their activities are affecting their feelings. This practice can also really benefit you as a caregiver. How do you feel when using devices while you have children in your care? Is it beneficial? How does it make you feel? Part of discussing media with kids in your care is helping them understand the rules. Setting and holding boundaries around technology can be really challenging, but it's easier with a plan. Rules can include when and how much children are allowed to use technology and ensuring that devices are turned off and out of sight when they're not in use. Creating screen-free times and areas. If you choose to focus on creating screen-free times and areas in your caregiving environment, first consider where technology is located. Do you have a TV in the classroom or environment that you're in? Where is the remote? Are there designated areas for devices? Do you have a phone or other devices on you during the day? When do you have them and where are they? Some important screen-free times and places to consider are no devices during meal times, no devices in nap and sleep areas, and limiting screen use at certain times of the day, and only using media for specific educational purposes. If you need to use devices for contacting parents or logging daily activities, think about when and where would be best for that. It can also be beneficial to have screen okay days during the week. For example, it's okay to use screens for certain activities after structured learning sessions. If you use screens with children in your care, perhaps set one screen-free day each week to prioritize interactive and hands-on activities to start. Consider avoiding screens first thing in the morning or as the last activity of the day, using one screen at a time and utilizing the Do Not Disturb feature on devices to minimize interruptions. Using high-quality shows and apps. If you choose to focus on using high-quality shows and apps, utilize our video and app checklists to evaluate the media content that you're selecting for children. Offer creative, friendly, positive, and educational media options. Review new media before you introduce it to kids, and especially apps with multiple features and levels. Using media together. Finally, if you choose to focus on using media together, there are ways to make it a fun and educational experience. You could have a movie day that doubles as time for group interaction and a chance to discuss media content, or a special app activity for small group play. Some wonderful memories can come from shared media experiences. Another approach is to schedule a time each day where you and the students watch a video or play an educational game together, followed by a discussion about what they saw and what they learned. It's important for children to have opportunities to use media with a caregiver who can supervise and guide the experience to model some healthy, positive educational media use. After you've decided what to focus on, refer to the daily scheduling worksheet. And this worksheet helps you plan media use during children's day, scheduling time for activities that are important for development, and design a media plan that works for your classroom. You can share it with fellow caregivers to see how each of you creates a unique media experience for children in your care. Here are the key takeaways. A media plan is a valuable tool for involving all caregivers in setting and adhering to media rules and limits. You can choose to focus on 2 of these priorities in your media plan: balancing screen time with off-screen activities, setting media time limits and turning off devices when they're not being used, having regular conversations with children about screen time and about content, creating screen-free times and areas, choosing high-quality media options, and using media together.